McCall with Infinity Lighting, and today we're going to go through the Infinity Lighting mobile app. Let's get started. Alright, so now that your Infinity Lighting system is installed, the first thing you'll want to do is go to the App Store on any mobile device and download the Infinity Lighting mobile app. Search for Infinity Lighting in the App Store, and our icon is just a white background with our Infinity symbol logo that has a rainbow outline. It should be titled Infinity Lighting. Go ahead and download that app, and once it's downloaded, you'll be prompted to log in. Your login should have been created by whoever installed the system, and it should be a personal email address and then whatever password you agreed to set for that account. It can be reset if you've forgotten it, and a password reset link will be set to that email. So once you get logged in, it will bring you to the home page of the Infinity Lighting app. You'll see our logo here on the home page, and then you'll see a few other things that I'll explain. In the top right corner, you'll see two icons, a cloud icon and then a network bridge icon. These two icons, if you click on those in the top right corner, a key will pop up that will tell you what the colors mean and also what the symbols mean in case you forget. The cloud icon stands for the device status. So that would be the status of the device that you're using to access the Infinity Lighting mobile app, and whether or not it's connected to the server or logged in, things like that. So the red symbol means you have no internet connection. The yellow means that the server is currently unreachable. The green means that the server is connected, you should be good to go, and the blue means that you're logged in and you're also good to go. The next icon is the bridge status, the status of the network bridge that's located in the location of the lights. The red also means disconnected, so something's gone wrong with your bridge. Blue means that you're there on site, there's a local connection and you're good to go. And green is maybe you're at a different location and you're accessing your lights through this app on a remote connection. Once you're done there, you can click back on the home page and the key will disappear. But that's just a quick run through of what those icons look like and what the colors mean there. As long as they're blue or green, you're in the clear and your system is running and good to go. At the bottom of the home page, you'll see four different icons. There's the home page icon, the sequences icon, the calendar icon, and the settings icon. We're going to start today in the settings tab here. So you're going to click on settings at the bottom of your app here. And in the settings tab is where all the information lives about your Infinity Lighting system. You have information about your bridge, all the zones in your system, the device you're using to access the system, your account with Infinity Lighting, and for our Infinity Lighting installers, we have the installer registration here as well. So first we're going to start in the bridge section of this. This shows all the details of your bridge once you click on bridge here. The Infinity Bridge here, it'll tell you your serial number, the version of hardware you're on, the firmware version in case there's any discrepancies there, the last update, and things like that. So really technical information about your bridge. The most important thing that we use on this page is the bridge serial number. This will help you identify your Infinity Bridge that's specific to your Infinity Lighting system. Usually you'll go into bridge details, you'll look at that serial number, and you can actually look at the physical network bridge device and flip it over. On the back of it will be that serial number, and you can make sure that you're connected to the right system in case there was some confusion there. We also recommend for any Infinity Lighting installer to take note of any serial number for network bridges that they install so that they can use that for the installer registration. So we'll go out of bridge settings and we'll go into zones next. This is where all the information lives about any zone within your Infinity Lighting system. You'll be able to see, how many zones you have, whether they're connected or not, the status of those, and then as well the serial number that goes with those zones. So again, really great information for any troubleshooting or anything that you run into if you do run into that. The next section we'll go into is device settings. Now in device settings, you'll be able to see the app version, the engine version, making sure that we're on the latest and greatest version of our Infinity Lighting app. The next one is autopilot here that we want to focus on in device settings. Autopilot is a really, really great feature for anyone who has an Infinity lighting system who wants to be really hands-off with the system. So you've got it installed, you want to enjoy it, but you don't want to set for every holiday. You don't want to have to worry about it. Once it's turned on, we at Infinity Lighting have programmed it for every major holiday, any national holiday, to run the specific pattern in correlation to that holiday for a certain time period around that holiday. So say Christmas is coming up, your Christmas lights will be on and you don't even have to think about it. Autopilot takes care of all of that for you. So that's a really great feature if you're wanting to be really hands-off with the system and you want the app to do all the work for you. Highly recommend that. We're going to go out of device settings and into account information. This will tell you the name associated with the account that you're using to access the mobile app, as well as the email and the sign-up date for the account. And then the last part on the settings page is our installer registration, which I already talked about a little bit. But for our installers, anyone who installs an Infinity lighting system needs to register the system through this page on our settings app. So once you click on that installer registration, it's going to take you to a web page and it will ask you your name, the serial number, where the system was purchased, and the installation address, as well as an email address that we can tie the system back to. This is all specific to the installer so that, if there's any discrepancies with warranty or troubleshooting that needs to take place, we have record of that and we're able to see, the status of it, maybe what went wrong. We house all of that information, and it really does benefit you as users and as installers to do this registration. So highly recommend that. That's an important part on our settings tab here that I wanted to make sure to touch on today. So that wraps up the settings tab. The next one we're going to go to is our sequences. In our sequences tab, this is where all of the magic happens with Infinity lighting. You'll be able to select any pattern for any holiday, special occasion, sporting event, you name it. This is where sequences is where all of that takes place. So when you click on the sequences tab, you'll immediately be taken to our presets page. These were preset patterns created by the Infinity lighting team. We've hit almost every national holiday that you can think of. We also have fun things like classic, fall frolic, religious celebrations and sensations, making sure that we cover and you have plenty of options for any occasion that you would run into here. So you can click, today I'm going to click on Christmas for the purpose of the tutorial today. And I'm going to go into just the first one here on the list is Candy Cane Lane. So this is one of our Christmas preset patterns called Candy Cane Lane. You can see when you click in to Candy Cane Lane, there are 7 different colors in the pattern, and those are indicated by the color, the circles at the top of the page. And then underneath that is a number 7 with a plus or minus sign on each side. And you can see there's 7 different colors in this pattern. And you can see at the bottom there's an effects column. And in that column it says chase. That tells you that the lights are going to be moving. And a chase effect, it looks like the lights are chasing one another. So they're going to be moving. There's going to be movement with this pattern is what that's telling us. Now to activate this sequence on your system, you're just going to click the power button in the top right corner. Mine pops up with zones. Yours may as well too if you have zones in your system. In order to activate it on all zones, you give those zones a tap. They'll turn bright green, and then you'll click done. Now you can see the Candy Cane Lane feature is now active, or whatever sequence you activated is now working on your lights. So that kind of wraps up preset patterns, and that goes over, all the ways that you can activate those sequences. It's the same no matter what pattern, no matter what sequence, no matter what category. You're just going to click on the one you want, go in there, and click the power button in order to activate that. The next section in our sequences tab is called personal. So these are any sequences or patterns that are created by you, the account user. These are going to be specific to your account. They're not going to be available on any other account. They're just saved to your account on the Infinity Lighting app. So to create a personal pattern on your Infinity Lighting mobile app, you're going to click the plus icon in the top right corner, and that will bring you to a page where you're going to create a new sequence. At the top where it says new sequence, you can click there, and we're going to name this one Jack Frost. I'm doing a Christmas winter theme here. And then right now it's going to default to 3 colors pattern. I'm going to tap the plus icon so you can see you can add as many as you want. I've gotten up to 17 right here, but I'm not going to do that for sake of time today on our tutorial. I'm going to click the minus button until we're at 4 colors. Now I am going to do a pattern that has 2 dark blue and 2 light blue, but they're going to be alternating: dark blue, light blue, light blue. I can use this color picker down here as an option, but there's also a few other ways that you can choose colors. So you can see at the top in the leftmost corner is a miniature color wheel. You're going to click there on that icon, and that's going to bring up a drop down. There's going to be a color ring, a few sliders, and a star option. So the color ring option, we're going to click on that. That allows you to actually drag and select a color that way around a ring. It's just a little bit different. Same concept as our color wheel, but it's more of a ring, and you can change the color of it by using this brightness slider down underneath that. The next option is our RGB option. So you're able to use these red, green, and blue sliders in order to create whatever color you want. Now the cool thing about this RGB slider feature is that RGB colors are universal. So if there was a certain color, say magenta, that you're wanting to replicate on your Infinity Lighting, the lights, then you would, you can Google that certain color and you can say magenta RGB codes. That will pop out. Magenta is 255 red, 0 on green, and 255 on blue. And so once I do that, you can see the magenta color populates in that first color icon that I've selected. And then that can be universal, so if you have certain decor you're trying to match or things like that, the RGB is a really, really great way to make sure you're getting the exact color that you want. So for today, I'm just going to use the color wheel that it defaults to so that you're comfortable and you know how to use that. I'm going to select a dark blue color for the first color in my pattern. The next one, I'm going to tap on that second color icon, and I'm going to do a light blue color. And then the third one, I want to match that first dark blue color I did. I want those two to match perfectly so that there's not any difference between those two colors. So I'm going to press and hold on that first dark blue color I created. That's going to bring up a small sub menu. I'm going to click copy on that one, and then I'm going to press and hold in the spot that I want that dark blue color to be in. In this case, it's the third color slot, and I'm going to click paste. You can see that populates that third slot with the exact same dark blue color, so those are going to match perfectly. Now I'm going to do that again with my fourth slot color to be the exact same color, the light blue color I selected earlier. So I'm going to press and hold again on that second color, click copy, and then on that fourth circle I'm going to press and hold and then click paste. So now I have a pattern that's dark blue, dark blue, and light blue. The last thing we do here, there's a brightness slider. You can change the brightness of your colors. We always recommend that you keep it at the brightest. It defaults to the brightest, but we always want to make sure that our lights are shining the brightest possible. So we recommend keeping that slider at the far right so that we can ensure your lights are bright enough. The last part in a personal sequence is going to be the effects section. So down at the effects, it says tap to select, so you're going to tap on those words. And there's a few different options here. There's fade, blink, strobe, chase, reverse chase, twinkle, wipe, and random. Now, the best way for you to figure out which sequence and which effect you like the best is going to be just to get outside and play around with those different effects. For today, I'm going to do a twinkle, and when you click on it, it's going to come with a sliding bar underneath it. And for that shows the frequency that this effect is going to be moving at. So the furthest left you are on that sliding scale is going to be the slower that pattern moves. And the farther right you go is going to be how quickly it moves. So I like to keep this one about in the middle, but like I said, you get out there, you test it out, and you see what you like, and then you can be able to set that frequency. So once you've got it to a place that you like, you're going to click done. And then I'm all done with the pattern here, so I'm going to click save, and that's going to save the sequence under that personal tab in your sequences section. Now to activate, again, you're just going to click that power button in the top right corner. You're going to select all the zones you want it to be active on, and then you're going to click done. So that is how you create a personal sequence. Now the cool thing about personal sequences, which brings me to the next tab here, is you can share those with neighbors, with friends, with family who also have an Infinity Lighting system. To do that, we're going to go back into that Jack Frost pattern I just created. We're going to click the 3 dots in the top right corner, and we're going to click Share Sequence. Now, it'll prompt you to add the recipient's email address here that's associated with their Infinity Lighting account. It's important to make sure that you're sharing that with the email that they've used on their Infinity Lighting mobile app account. That way, they'll receive the sequence and you can be matching, and it's super fun to share those. If there's one that you like or you want to replicate it, super easy. You don't have to create it. You'll just share it with one another. So those will show up in that 3rd tab under the sequences, under the shared section. So next we're going to be moving into the calendar tab at the bottom. It's the 3rd one from the left. Now the calendar feature is a really great feature for those of you who are planners. You want to get everything set for the year, or set once you get your Infinity Lighting system installed. The calendar is going to be your best friend. So to just a quick run through here on the calendar tab, in order to swipe through, go forward with months, you'll swipe to the left and that will advance you throughout the calendar year. To go backwards, you'll swipe to the right and that will take you back in that calendar year. Now, when you see a circle on a certain date, that's going to be today's date. So there's always going to be a circle around today's date. And then if you see a little green dot next to a date, that signifies that you have a sequence scheduled for that date. You're going to see we have programmed all national holidays on these calendars. So you're going to see Halloween, you're going to see Thanksgiving, you're going to see Veterans Day, Christmas, Christmas Eve. All of those major holidays we have called out here in the calendar, so you're able to see, what day those fall on and what days you need to program if you're trying to celebrate one of those with your Infinity Lighting lights. So in order to create a new event on a calendar, you're going to click the plus icon in the top right corner, and it's going to automatically call it New Event. So you're going to click on New Event at the top. You're going to rename it. Today we're going to create, surprise, a Christmas event. I'm going to title it Christmas. The next section it's going to ask you about is times. So the first square that you see is going to be the start time. The second square you see is going to be the end time for this event. So if you're sharing your location with the Infinity Lighting mobile app, we're able to tell what time dusk is and what time dawn is in your specific area. So if you want the Infinity Lighting system to turn on at dusk, you've got to be sharing your location with the mobile app. In order to activate your lights at a certain time or to do it at dusk, there's a little icon once you click on the start time block that has a sun on it. And you're just going to click that, make sure it's green, and click done. That will tell the system that it needs to turn on at dusk. And then to have your lights turn off at dawn, you're going to click the same icon at the end time and click done, and you'll see that changes from dusk till dawn. That will read on your app. The next section is days. So this will select, what days do you want this to run. For this pattern, I'm just going to do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I will tap on both of those dates and click done. And you can see it will tell me 12/24, 12/25 in that date section. The next section is zones. Which zones do you want this pattern to be active on is what it's asking you. If they're bright green, it should default to them being bright green. So as long as they're bright green, you're in the clear and all the zones are selected and they will run this pattern. The last part is sequences. You're going to click on the plus icon in the bottom right here to select your sequence. I'm going to select in my personal tab that Jack Frost pattern we created with the dark blue, light blue, dark blue, light blue pattern. So once I click that, you can see it populates under that sequences section here in the event. Now let's say you have someone living with you or who also has control over the Infinity Lighting system and they want a different pattern to run. The cool thing about the calendar and creating an event is you can actually program 2 or more sequences at the same time. So for the sake of the demo today, we're going to click on another Christmas pattern. So we're going to go into sequences and go into Christmas, and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom to traditional Christmas. Once I select traditional Christmas, you can see in the sequences part of the calendar, it shows a time frame that each of these will run. It says 20 seconds. You can actually adjust that time frame by clicking on that time frame on the certain sequence you're wanting to either lessen or create more time for that sequence. I'm going to have them run for 2 minutes and 20 seconds each, so I'm going to click on both of those times and click done. So now you can see there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds for each pattern to run. That means Jack Frost is going to run for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and then after that, traditional Christmas is going to run for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that's the pattern I'm going to create. I'm happy with that event. I'm going to click save, and that's going to save the event to my calendar. Now when Christmas comes and we've got craziness around Christmas, you don't have to worry about your Infinity Lighting system turning on. You've already got the lights done. You're going to look put together and you're going to look like you celebrate Christmas on those 2 days. So it's going to be great. The last thing I want to note is back on the home page. Now that you've got your lights scheduled, maybe you've been playing around with sequences, your lights are turned on. One thing you'll notice when your lights and your system is on, there's going to be a blue circle in the top right corner of your home page, and it's going to say turn off. This is the easiest way to turn off your Infinity Lighting system. If for some reason it's on and you don't want it to be on, you can click turn off in the top right corner and it's going to turn off your lights immediately. So that is another recommendation and best practice that we use here at Infinity Lighting, so you don't have to find the sequence that's running and click that power off button. Just go to the home page and click turn off. So anyway, that wraps up our tutorial today on the Infinity Lighting mobile app. We hope that this was insightful and gives you some good pointers to use next time you're out there playing with your lights. So get out there and enjoy your Infinity Lighting system, and we'll see you next time.